Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing okay today. I got some sleep last night for a change. Yeah, that helped. I had some pretty rough days. Oh, I have some things on my mind today. The people in the world that are so liberal seem to be overlooking, like, even comedians nowadays are making jokes about children being sexually abused. There is absolutely nothing funny about that. And I can tell you personally, I kind of struggled with this for a couple days. It's like, I don't want to come off like, oh, poor me, I had it happen to me and I know how horrible it is. Yes, but I'm very, very strong and I overcame it emotionally. A lot of people don't. And there's absolutely nothing funny about that at all. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. If you hear comedians making jokes about this, um, there's nothing funny about it whatsoever. And we need to speak up as adults in this world and say something about it, you know, for the children. So that's why I'm speaking up today on this subject because I don't find it funny at all. I mean, we have a president that literally groped a young girl's breast right in public, right in front of her parent. Her mother didn't say or do a word. If that had been me, that man would have had a broken hand. Or at least I would have called the authorities. Of course, the authorities wouldn't have done anything. So back to the broken hand thing, you know. So we really need to be aware of what they're actually trying to usher in here, not just their satanic forceful system, but what they're trying to do to the next generation by um, overlooking these things that our children are being conditioned every single day. They get on, and if they turn on the television, they can't, there's nothing on there that will be in the eyes of God morally standing enough that these children are not going to be influenced by the satanic mindset of same sex or whatever it be. I mean, this is my beliefs. This is what I stand firmly on as a parent in this world. Family is everything. And what our children see forms the next generation. When are people going to wake up enough to see and realize that this is an issue in our world and we need to speak on it? Our voices need to be heard, you know? It's a very big deal. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, to my instigator friend out there, yes, you are an instigator. I could do that too. I have a couple times, as you can tell. Yeah, I do. I'll light a fire under somebody. It's like, if you need it, I'll light it. you know? So, but yeah, I wasn't really gonna say anything, but it don't matter. But the mother of one of my grandchildren wrote me a note and sent me some information on how the state will, or I don't know what organization, some organization will help people with like their rent. And um she erased the message to me after I just wrote back, thank you. And if you hear anything from either one of my sons, please let me know because they're not talking to me. The weirdest thing in the world, I went back on there the next day expecting that there'd be a note from her, and she had unfriended me on Facebook. So it's like, oh, okay, because Um, if I don't see, I used to run to the phone and she'd call and lay all her sorrows on me, not even thinking for one moment that I had my own sorrows. And she has a mom out there. She was living with her mother at the time, and her father's close, and she has a stepdad and a brother and sister, and they're very, very close family. So what she actually really was doing was trying to punish me for the way my son treated her. And they're very much the same. They're not a marriage minded type of person anyway that would ever be truly faithful. Their eyes wander too much. They could never be faithful in a relationship. Not as far as I can tell. So, um, yeah, I left my hair down, so I know Letty likes people's hair, so I thought I'd let you see mine today. Here it is. It does grow fast. I'm pretty fortunate like that, and especially after having no hair at all at one time about 10 years ago. And then yet last year when my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, chopped her hair off like that, that's when I chopped my hair off too. And then when I went out to visit her, I think I encouraged her to grow hers back because she's like, my hair is so thick. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But you just start combing at the bottom first and then work your way up. And then you're able to comb the whole thing, you know? So I've had super, super long hair, and it should be easily way past my waist by this time next year because it's down almost down to my waist now. So, see, getting there, or middle of my back anyway. So, I need to have it trimmed straight across. So, it's kind of a mess yet this morning, but I thought, instead of just putting it in a ponytail, I'll let you see my hair. See? That's me. So, yeah. But it really is a big issue nowadays, with them minimizing what's going on with the kids. It really is. Um, it's heartbreaking because I can't imagine even an adult, like, say you go to a comedy club and you hadn't thought about the abuse that you suffered when you were a kid for like a year, maybe even a month or a week. Wow, ta-da. That's quite a heroic thing within yourself. You're like, wow, I'm like conquering this stuff, you know? And the next thing you know is some idiot making a joke out of what had happened to you. And trust me, and I'm a mother of abused children also, because I had the state make me. They took me to court. The Masons took me to court to have rights to see my children, and my children were abused in that setting. And get that. And this was after I had emancipated myself from them when I was 17. I literally divorced them. So I was trying to tell the judge in the courts, like, look, if they weren't good enough to be my parents back then, what makes you think that they're good enough to be around my sons? I don't want these people around my sons. I had a restraining order on them. You know, I did whatever I could to keep my children safe. So when you hear people making jokes about children being abused, and my son's lives were destroyed, my sons that should be upstanding men were destroyed by just that. That is not a funny joke at all. Or how about the little girl that hears this joke and then she's thinking, wow, here's this man that should be a man in this world and protect me, making a joke out of what happened to me. How sick is that? That's sick. These kids have no chance on this planet if we don't start standing up for them. Isn't that true? Somebody's got to say something just to let the other people out there know that when you've had things happen to them or you like that, I don't find any laughter in any kind of joke. It's like these assholes, and I've said it before, like watching America's Funniest Videos or videos of if they're not too bad, like if they're truly kind of funny, if somebody turns around and bumps somebody um and they stumble or something, that could be kind of comical. But people like babies falling on their face, and I mean, what people find humorous, I really don't I can't get into the laughter with that, you know. Or I've like when people are mean to other people, and a certain demographic of the people in like if in your group or your family, and like everybody else laughs but you don't, and you're just sitting there kind of like, what is wrong with these people? You know, I don't get it. It's terrible, it really is. I hope you agree on that. I mean, this world is too liberal. That's the last thing we need. We need more conformity and more family values, more morality. Even if you aren't a Christian, if you could just be moral and believe in what the family values are for mankind, for the future. God didn't make all these weirdos like that. This is sickness on this planet. We need to help heal each other, not make it worse. Who's going to help do that? What are you going to do? What are you going to say? Are you saying anything? Couple people are here and there. But even I heard Lionel Nation make a comment about this general neutral stuff being pushed down our children's throats, and he was quoting somebody else, some man that had made a comment about it too, that of course the children are going to emulate what they see. How do you put an end to something that's destroying humanity? And yes, it is destroying them. You have to say something. You have to speak up. So some younger person that's watching me, and God bless your hearts, um, can say, wow, there's an older lady that loves us. She's actually saying something to us because she cares, you know? And I do. So, yeah. But yesterday I was so freaking tired just for like a couple days. Doug's cat was like really super, super sick. He's biting his fur out because of his thyroid problem. He was throwing up all over the place. We ended up taking him off his medicine, and I was listening to a holistic veterinarian and some of the herbs and things that she uses on animals and different things. So um, I took a neem uh, powder and mixed it with a little bit of clove and ground clove and a tiny bit of ground ginger, but mostly neem. And I powdered him up. Doug was holding him, and I powdered him up this morning with all that because his ears were just like red and itchy, and he's been itching and scratching and biting. And I mean, he's been eating okay, but he wasn't eating as good as he's eating right now. After we did that this morning, he's like stopped itching and scratching and biting, and it's like, oh, finally, I think we found what's really going to help him. I tried this week. I've tried medicated powder, chamomile lotion. Chamomile and the medicated helped him somewhat, but it's still a chemical. Chamomile's, well, even the medicated powder is cornstarch, but it's got camphor in there, and you don't really want your animals licking the camphor or the chamomile, or not chamomile, calamine lotion for itching and stuff like I use. So I thought if it stops me from itching, it'd probably help him. It did help him kinda, but not as much as I wished that it would, you know. So this morning when we did this, because it's a mixture that you can make for cleansing your system, and we were worried about detoxing him because of liver or kidney damage that he could have associated with this thyroid problem. But my issue was, even with the vet that we had taken him to, is the root cause. What caused his sudden attack of thyroid problems, getting down to the root cause, which actually could have been the food that we were feeding him, the dry kibbles. I still put some of that out for him, but like yesterday he had I think it was like country stew and gravy, and then I took out some sardines and chopped them up in milk, um, a bowl of milk next to it, and so and he seems to be doing, like I said, much better, which is really good. So I'm happy. So, yeah. Um, yeah, he's like I told Doug, that cat right there, I was talking about Bob, is more important than 95% of the people on this planet. That's how sweet he is. He is the nicest little boy, the most polite. You can ask him to do anything, and he'll do exactly what you ask. I came out of my room this morning, and he is standing there. I said, "Morning, Bob," and he goes, puts his arm out, waves to me. I'm like, "Aw, how cute," you know. And if I tell him to sit or lay down or whatever I ask him to do, he'll do. So he's a super little boy, and we've really been praying hard for him because he's been suffering so much. And that's hard to watch because um this time, well, it was on Halloween his mommy died, and it was really horrific and bloody, and he saw all of it, and he was a month old, and those little kitties were terribly traumatized. So, yeah. So to see him being healthy and happy is a major big deal. Oh, speaking of kitties, there was an article in my local paper, or community, online Facebook community. Um, Somebody had dropped off a kitty in this woman's yard and left the kitty there with a garbage bag full of cat food, kibble. And they found out the cat was microchipped. So it was somebody that at one point had some kind of money to be able to microchip the cat or whatever. It came from somebody that had at one time been able to afford this poor little kitty. And so they put the numbers out there, and they looked them up and everything, just to find out that the people that had this cat microchipped erased all their information online as the owners, so they couldn't find the owners. So they put the numbers out there this morning, seeing if anybody else had any information on who this cat belonged to. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of like a waste of time, because if you find out that they've erased that information, then pretty much they don't want to be found. And they were getting rid of they were putting their cat making their cat somebody else's problem. Kind of like I'm going through in my life with kitties around here. But I mean, I don't care. I love them, so I'm taking care of them. And they all have names and they're all healthy. So, but I really felt bad for that little kitty. Could you just imagine? It's like Bob's mom, this cat we have now. She had her and two kittens were left over in the gravel pit in a cage that had some of them Tyvek straps, that are plastic. She was able to chew through them and escape and ended up in our yard about a block away. Well, on just right on the edge of our property. So she just like walked over here. But then when I found the cage, I realized where she had come from, and could tell that it had been chewed through. And but could you imagine being put in a cage and dumped? If she wasn't able to chew through that, they would have died for real. But to just like that cat today, just or it must have happened yesterday, just to be dumped in somebody's yard with some food, and the cat's thinking, oh, wow, I thought you loved me, and there you go and just dump me. That must have been terrifying. And it's been a little cold out too. That's another thing that's been kind of bothering me is knowing that my son got stabbed, or if the story was fake or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if he's still living outside, you know, or on drugs, or if he's healthy, things like that. Yeah, they bother me. I try not to let things bother me and I try to stay happy, but it's not always possible. So, yesterday was sort of a hard day, and the day before I had asked Doug to go again, once again, to I said, we're at an impasse. It's like I can't handle the constant bullshit from somebody that doesn't stay sober enough not to give me constant bullshit. And I said, just go drop the papers. I'm ready, And he says, like, well, I can make it better. I said, I've heard that before. I said, I just to let him know that I will not trust anybody. I'll never trust his words that it's going to get better. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, as soon as I can go, I'm going. And I've said that for a while here, just waiting on when I can do that. Otherwise, I'd have to totally destroy his life. And I mean, I'm not really into that. He deserves that, but I'm not going to do that. I might. I told him I might. I don't want to have to do it like that, you know, and that would be a bad thing. But most people are not reasonable in a situation like I'm in. Most women be say like, well, you did that to me and I'm gonna do this to you. Watch, look what I can do, you know. But I'm not like that, you know. So so like I say, many things on my mind, and it's hurtful, it's heartache, but life goes on. you know. I just need to have peace of mind enough where I can feel like I can do things like this video, or things I love to do in my life is like hiking and biking, and I mean I love to keep active. I just wish that I had a friend around me that loved to hike or collect agates, or just go for a walk and talk, or sit out at the bonfire and play music, or and sing. I mean, things that normal people do that I haven't had in my life for decades, you know. Yeah, it bothers me. you know. So So yeah, I I I I don't want to be on here like, oh, poor me, poor me. No, no, no. There's a lot of people going through hell right now, and I really do have compassion for everybody. And so all I can do is get on here and tell you what's going on with me and let you know that I love you, and I don't roll like that. I'm not like, oh, poor me and nobody has it worse, and doesn't matter whether I had it worse or somebody else does. Um, we all know it's pretty horrible out there for everybody right now. If you have one um, part of you that's like, even one part of you that's normal, that's screaming that this world is like whacked, you know, this is not right. This is not how human beings were meant to live. And we really got to do something about it. So, okay, here's something from what Doug says, that all these indictments and all the military that was going to be locking people up in court martial or whatever they have to do to them, that there's going to be a blackout on the 17th. 17th is the date. I do believe it is Sunday. Um, that he expects the power grid to go down, and they're going to use the cover of darkness to take all these people out. I don't know. What do you think about that? That's from the inside information and channels that Doug's watching. Uh that's what he's putting out there and saying, so I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah. Well, yes, I really did sleep pretty good last night. A little kind of, um, I woke up a few times and it was a little chilly. And I thought, well, I could turn the heat up, but, and then it would just remind me of my kid out there. And then I fell asleep. That happened a couple times. So it's like, yeah, I can't really even escape the concerns, even if I keep my mind busy during the day. It does bother me. And my other one was in jail, and his girlfriend asked me for money that I did not have to give, and she unfriended me on Facebook. And so it's like, yeah, okay, these people don't get what they want out of me, and then I'm just trash. I see how that works. That's okay. Yeah, I know. There's families all over the world that aren't talking to each other because some are standing up for other people and what is the right thing to do, and others just aren't. They're self-centered and self-absorbed, and that's how they roll best, just by acting like little cretins, and it's disgusting. you know. So if you're going through that with any of your family members, or recognize it out in public and it's making you sick too, I really feel sorry for you. I really do. It's a hard thing. And we don't stop loving them just because they don't really want to maybe be around us, or even if they did, there's people I could be around but won't be around. See, I could suck up to them. I could say, hey, do what you will and let you be evil still. And yeah, go be evil still. But I'm still going to tell you you're immoral as, and I don't want to be around it. So that's my take on that. So that's why I have very few people in my life, and the ones that I do highly respect me, and I hold them in high regard too, because we know what's going on and we're actually trying to help others. So, I'm going to leave it at this. Sad days. I believe that we are in the end times as far as evil is going to be squelched on this planet, but it's the getting there that's been so flippin' long. That is long suffering. Yeah, it's been a very long time. So, well, everybody, I love you very much. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'm not going away. I'm not shutting up. And even if it's just to say hello to a few people that want to say hello back, or just, somebody that truly cares about you, you could show up my door and I'd help you with whatever I could help you with. That's me. And when I say I love you, I'm not just talking. So, I mean, now if you're going to come around like some kind of weird ass cretin thing or whatever, we could work that out. I'd work it out for you real quick. But I still love and I care, and that's who I am. So, well, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a really nice day or night wherever you're at.